Hi friends, welcome to Joel John J YouTube channel. Today we have got our special guest Martin Athanas, who is an author of 3 books and he is on the progress of writing his 4th book. And he is also a coach with the motive helping professionals and business achieve their most impossible goals. So welcome to our program, sir. And
Thank you, Joel.
okay, sir. And can you give a short bio of yourself?
Sure. First of all, thank you for inviting me for this interview. Also, thanks to all the viewers of this channel, Joel John Jays. It's a very interesting channel. I recommend even my friends to subscribe and watch a lot of interesting videos. So it's a pleasure being here with you, Joel. Now, my name is Martin, as you all know. I'm basically a South Indian. I'm from Kerala, but I came to Mumbai in 1996 and settled here. So I'm an entrepreneur and a leadership and transformation coach. I have I have over 20 years of experience, out of which 10 years has been in the corporate world, you know, chugging the normal things. I started with my sales and marketing job as a business development manager for retail phones. Then I went into the IT and ITES space, worked there around 6 years dealing with international clients from across the globe. And then in 2010, I decided to change my career path and became a trainer and coach. So the first 6 years has been a trainer with different corporate training companies. And last 5 years, I have been a transformation and leadership coach. So I live with my family in Mumbai.
Okay, great to know about that, sir. And also, thanks for welcoming people to subscribe to the channel. And people who are listening on podcast, you will have the YouTube link on the description for the YouTube video. And similarly, if you are watching it on YouTube, you'll have the podcast link as well, so that if you are learning on short of time, you can just listen to the audio when you are doing something else like driving or something, like cooking or something. Not driving, sorry for that. And then Sir has wrote about some 3 books, and also all the details of his social media contacts. All those will be on the description. You have to press the more tab below this video, or if you scroll down, you will have the comments. On that, I will pin these details in the first comment. From there also, you can get these links. Okay, sir, and I'm very happy to know about you. And can you give more insight on your experience as a coach?
Yeah, sure. So, Joel, you don't have to call me sir. You know, you can call me Martin, and that is usually how people call me. Because when you call me sir, that there's a huge age gap. That reflects, and I think that should not be a hindrance because I work with a lot of youngsters also in the corporate world, a lot of entrepreneurs. So I share their energy and enthusiasm. So you can call me Martin. So coming to the question, um, uh, starting from, so I have built on my experience. So as a youngster, I did my graduation in science, but before that, till 12th, I did biology. So this is a curious change for me. I started with biology, then came to chemistry. My graduation was in chemistry. During that time, I was a very avid reader. I used to read books every day. That was the only hobby, apart from some sports activities and all. I would spend most of my weekends, Saturday, Sunday, going to libraries, collecting books, and then reading them, when I am back home. So that sort of created some kind of structure in the leadership space. I wanted to know more about how businesses are run and how people transformation, happens. So people transformation and leadership business. These were major topics, for me growing up. So after settling in Mumbai, I did my post graduation programs in business administration. So that sort of gave me some understanding of how businesses run, the administrative side, the sales and marketing side, the finance side, most importantly, the finance side, the people management, side. So I got a good understanding of, how these verticals come together and integrate into the seamless running of a business. Then I started my first job as a market development officer. So there, my experience was dealing with the businessmen. These are either shop owners or distributors. So I started learning, understanding while talking to them over a period of time. I understood the internals of running a business, the mindset of a business person, and which is totally different from that of a manager, okay, or a career focused person. So my experiences are, if you're talking about, so there are different levels of experience with the youngsters, the new managers. The experiences are there. They come with MBA. They have a lot of enthusiasm, but they lack experience, practical knowledge, hands-on knowledge, factory, shop floor knowledge, and a lot of them, want immediate results, quick results. So this there is a process in your journey from starting as a fresher to become a senior professional. There are steps that you need to climb. Now each steps comes with certain challenges, and these challenges are overcome through knowledge and interaction, developing new skill sets, interacting with seniors. So this is one layer of understanding that I have got. The second layer is when you're dealing with business owners, entrepreneurs, SMEs, this level of category of people, they are more result oriented. Their theories, doesn't work. Theories will not work. You have to show them because they have invested money and they have invested their future in the venture that they are into. So there's a lot of dynamics internally playing, anxiety and financial pressure, family pressure, societal pressure that they have to prove through performing, creating performance, creating money, creating finances and prospering in their business. That is, what they wanted to do. So here, coming as a coach, my job is understanding what they want, and second, integrating with their thought process. Because if you don't integrate with the thought process of different, all businesses are different. Even though they are in the same vertical, might be a delivery company, depending upon what segment of delivery, whether it is grocery delivery or it is clothes delivery or it is food delivery, they differ in their operations. And again, depending upon the people, the leadership and the people working, in the company, again the operations of the company differ. So it is the job of a coach to understand this dynamics and adjust and cooperate and take new learnings. A coach is always a learner throughout the life. A coach is always a learner. And in general, my from my experience, I can say that every person needs to be a learner throughout their life because this is a knowledge-driven economy that we are living in, and the future is also going to be knowledge-driven. So learning every day something new, will always help you to travel through this. So these are two layers of coaching, learning that I've taken, in my coaching journey.
Okay, so great to know about that. So, can you tell us about the books you wrote?
Yes. So as I mentioned earlier, Joel, I have been an avid reader right from my say childhood, and it started with reading weekly magazines, all right, and then it moved on to, so when I got interest in those magazines, then I got into reading books. I started with novels and poems, poetry, those things. Then I learned a lot about and read a lot about the literature in my native language. Then once I thought that, okay, fine, that part was clear, I got a lot of knowledge. and understanding about that, my focus turned to Western, okay, literature. So I started reading Kafka or Nietzsche, and a lot of interest I got developed into psychology, philosophy, the world business, so this kind of topics. So books were always a passion for me. So when I became a professional, in Mumbai and started work, I gathered a lot of knowledge about basic knowledge about sales. So after then came a stage wherein I thought that if I put all this my knowledge into a book and present it to newcomers, I will be helping them. They will find it as a guidebook whenever they want to do sales. What is step number one? What is step number two? They don't have to spend 5 years or 10 years learning on the ground from their managers and taking a lot of effort. So I wanted to help people coming newly into the segment of sales. So that is how my first book came about, which is called Positive Selling. And again, curiously, and interestingly, people might ask, positive and selling, doesn't it contradict? So that is another interesting, aspect about this book. It is written from a positive perspective because ultimately, any kind of sales is helping people. Now, helping people in what? Helping people in choosing the right product, right? Helping people in understanding if all the features they want are there in the product, helping people to decide whether that product is going to make their life easy or difficult, and finally giving them that final nudge, that last nudge in taking that decision to buy the product which is right for them. So even though a lot of people portray sales as a negative, in negative light, in my experience as a professional, I have been always a positive selling person. I would never push the people to buy. Instead, I will present all the good qualities of my product or service that I am trying to sell and leave the choice to the customer. And believe me, more often than not, people would come forward and buy what I'm trying to sell. So that is my first book, Positive Selling, which is still available on Amazon, but in the Kindle, segment, the hard copies are out of print. That I have wrote in 2018. My second book is a very interesting book, again in writing and also for readers, called Alice in Wonderland: New Interpretations for a New Age. Now, we all know the book Lewis Carroll, the famous, the towering figure in literary world that Lewis Carroll wrote, called Alice in Wonderland. Now, Alice in Wonderland is written in a poetic, fashion. It talks a lot about, you know, mind. It's a symbolic book written mostly about understanding the intricacies of mind. Now, of late, I have been doing some of my studies through my personal experiences again about mind and its curious ways. For example, some days you might find very energetic, to work, and some days all of a sudden you will feel that that activity switches off. You're not feeling that good to go out and do the work that you want to do. Sometimes you might feel very ambitious. I want to make money. I want to, conquer the world. But some other days you might find that trust is not there. Something is missing. Something is switched off. Right. Sometimes you feel good about people, a friend that you have. Sometimes you feel that, okay, this is my best friend in the world. But some other days you will feel that, oh, this person is not helping me. How can I be, friends with him? So there is a lot of fluctuations in the mind that all of us experience. Many of us might not reflect it or speak it out with people, all right, but we go through that, rhythms of mind. So I wanted to understand that the rhythms of, why this is happening. What is the root cause? What is the psychology and the biology behind it? Psychology in the sense how mind, what is the build of the mind? And biology behind it means how it is affecting your body. Okay, how all of a sudden your energetic body becomes lethargic, right? So there is some dynamics happening between the mind and the body, wherein the mind is giving some command to the body, and the body is following those commands and becoming, down and energyless. But some times, other times, the mind is giving certain other commands, and you're getting up even when you are tired. All right, you feel like going out there and fighting it out and doing something good every day. So from this, understanding, and then I read a lot about psychology, Sigmund Freud, Carl Jung, and the latest people who are working in the field of psychology and humanities and human development. And then came about a book called Alice in Wonderland, new interpretations for a new age. Now, we are living in a dynamic, world, and understanding of your mind. For example, all of us are a lot of time. If we are active, say 12 hours a day, at least 7 or 8 hours, we are connected with electronic devices. Now, we don't know. Without we knowing, these electronic devices are shaping our thought process, shaping our lifestyle, redefining our relationships, all right, and redefining even our future, right? So right now, people are so hooked to the electronic devices that they do not know the long term impact it is going to have. It is another matter that we cannot live without electronic devices, but we need to learn to keep a balance, okay, between how much of devices we are utilizing, how much of control the devices are having over us, and how to switch off, okay, from the electronic devices, so that you keep your own identity and sanity and don't become an addict to the virtual world. So this book is written from that perspective. John, I have shared the link of that book also with you, with all the book links with you. You can, put it in the chat box so the readers can, take use of these books. Now, coming to my third and the largest book that I have ever written out of this three is called 12 Stories of Abundance and Leadership. Now, 12 Stories in Abundance and Leadership came about again during my coaching journey. I have been meeting a lot of entrepreneurs, okay, small, scale business owners and medium scale business owners, and some of them are established, some of them are struggling, and so this mix. So there are probably around 300 to 500 people that I have been coaching and collecting my observation. Now, what I have understood, from my interactions and coaching sessions, with them is there are two category of people. Okay, one is a failure prone category, and the second is a success prone category. Now, what is the difference between the failure prone category and success prone category? It is the major difference is the framework that they follow. The failure prone category mostly does not have a framework that they follow. They do not have a strategy a long term strategy that they follow. It is like you got a business idea and you immediately gathered some friends, then gathered some finances, then that excitement started growing, and then you came up with a product and hit the market. Okay, you do not know, you have not done the market understanding, you have not done your statistics analysis, you have not done your future and future, what is the product, what is the variety of the product, you have not done the customer forecasting, what kind of customers you are going to come up, there are different types of customers or that, and what is the price points and how to decide the price points, what is an MVP, or when will you start hitting your profits, all right, how will you calculate actually your profit, okay, how will you even decide the price. So that is the first category. Without a framework, they start, you know, doing business. The second category is they have a well thought out plan, all right, and they spend a lot of time, all right, in drawing that plan. Okay, so that calls first, okay, for what am I good at as a human being? What is my core strengths? All right. And then they, after understanding, it takes a lot of time, a lot of interactions, a lot of going back to your school days and your college days, all right, and your career days to understand, okay, where I was appreciated, what was I good in delivering, where did I generate the maximum revenue, all right. Gathering this, they come to that particular area or a couple of areas. Okay, these are the areas I'm good at. Now, the second thought process is how can I convert what I'm good at into a business? Okay, for example, you might be good at convincing people. That is what you're amazed. People are amazed when you talking about any concept. You can come across as a very convincing person, all right, and you drive your point very strongly. Now this tells you that probably when I sit back and think that, okay, I have this capability of convincing people, how can I convert this into a business? Probably I will come with the business idea that I can sell things. Okay, I can easily sell things. I can convert products into benefits. Okay, the features of products into benefits, and I can sell those benefits convincingly to people who are in need of those products or those that particular service. Then you will again think that, okay, fine, so where am I going to do that? So I might start a company and approach entrepreneurs and new businesses and take up their products and sell as my white labeling, as called as. There are a lot of banking, loan reselling. Have you heard of loan reselling, Joel?
Yes, I know that.
Okay,
They will
so
discount the price and sell the bad loans to other
exactly.
collection agency.
Yes. So what a loan reselling agency is doing is they are selling the loans of many other banking and NBFCs as their own product, right? So what they do is they get a commission. For example, your Paisa Bazaar, all right, or your Credit B. Okay, there are at least 25-30 similar companies working on the same platform because that is one of the highest revenue churning platform. Or you take a Policy Bazaar. The Policy Bazaar is doing the same thing, right? They're taking the policies offered by different policy, company, whether it's a Religare, right, or whether it is an HDFC Life. They take their products and then create a website. Through that, they are comparing the products of other companies and making the decision making process of the customers easy, giving them better options, and then discounting them and selling the policies for on behalf of the uh, major policy the policy selling banks, all right, or corporations. Now what they get is they get a certain amount of commission from that. So like this, I sit back, I thought about my capability. I thought I am good at convincing. Then I thought, why not become a reseller? All right. Then I started, okay, how do I do that? Then probably some people went to selling loans and some people went to selling insurance policies. Some people are selling real estates. Okay. If you're magicbrick.com, magicbrick.com is nothing, other than they are taking the real estate places like new upcoming flats and reselling flats and putting it on their own platform and selling it and taking a margin. They are not doing any major investment. Their only investment is creating a company, creating very good websites and applications that will attract the customers, and having a staff that will support creating a service ecosystem, all right, and infrastructure, service infrastructure as well as ecosystem, and then get tied up with those major agencies and bring the product onto their platform, all right. And this takes very less money compared to making a 25 floor building. Now if a 25 floor building making that in cities like Chennai or Mumbai, Delhi will go into billions of rupees, you can create a policy bazaar within a fraction of that cost. right? So this is what I'm saying. If you have a structure, this is what you will do. You will find out internally what you are good at. You will convert that into a product or a service. Then you put a business around that, and then you hit the market and become a billionaire yourself. All right. So when I understood that there are two types of people. One is a failure prone people who start out business without having a basic structure. Second is a success prone people who start out putting a very good structure into place. I thought that this is something that I should tell people as a guide, as a coach. This is something that I should tell people. Okay, how will you succeed in your life? So that is how the basic concept of 12 stories of abundance and leadership came about. Now, there are certain peculiarities of this book that I would like to tell you about. The first one is it is written in the form of stories, okay, or parables. So it is not going to be boring to read because it is like you're reading any other, good story. And there are 12 stories to read and 12 perspectives each story, bring about. Second thing is it has a structure. It has three parts, okay, and each part has a motto. For example, the first part is a quotation from Carl Jung, the famous psychoanalyst and psychologist, who said, "The world will ask you who you are, and if you do not know, the world will tell you." Meaning, if you do not know who you are, it is just like Ambani said, later on. If you don't have your own dreams, you will become, you will end up building somebody else's dream. Okay, so Carl Jung said this earlier. You know who you are, your potential, your advantages, your blind points, and then start building things for yourself. So that is the first part. How do you do that? All right. The second part is a quotation from Abraham Lincoln, which says, the best way to foresee your future, the best way to see your future is to build it. Beautiful quotation. Meaning, if you start thinking about how my future is going to be, it is endless. The only way how you want to see the future that you want is building that future yourself. You want to become a doctor, you have seen yourself that, okay, fine, I want to help people in the medical profession, I want to help people, I don't want people suffering through different diseases and accidents and other things. So you become a doctor and you create a world wherein nobody suffers due to injuries or due to disease or due to sickness and other things. All right, so this is the second. How do you build the product or the service that you want to? How do you build your dream? How do you build? That is the second part. The third part is also again an interesting quotation from Nelson Mandela, who said, "It always seems impossible until it is done." You think about it. Until something is done, people will say, "No, ये नहीं हो सकता. This is not possible. ये कर ही नहीं सकते." But after it is built, then people fall in line and they start believing that, yeah, it can be done. So while you're trying to build something, every day you will think that it might be not possible. That thought of it might be not possible will pull you back, try to pull you back, try to drag you down. But then you should always think with this thought process that it seems impossible always until it is done. So let me just do it and show to the world, show to people that it is possible. So the third part is all about what are the difficulties that you will come across when you're trying to build your own thing. Whether it is building a powerful career, you want to become an MD, you want to become the chairman of a company, or you want to become the managing director of the company, you want to become the board member, a powerful career, or you want to become an entrepreneur, a business person, and make millions and transform lives, or you want to become a creator, a YouTuber, okay, nowadays, or an Instagrammer who is also making millions of rupees and becoming, famous overnight, this is the path to follow. There are three stages that you need to follow. So this is a beautiful, book, and I'm getting a very good reviews from readers stating that this book, can transform people's lives completely. So this is my journey as the books and the third book. So you have the link of the third book, the 12 stories of abundance and leadership. I would request you to share the link with people so that they can take advantage of the book.
I'm so very happy to know that the best way of communication is telling stories, because stories
Correct.
get grasped by us soon. So I think that book will be very useful. Also, the other books, the topics are itself very interesting. So definitely, I will give the links. People will get benefited out of that. And what are you building right now, apart from writing these stories and others?
Okay, so you're directly coming to my daily routine and what am I busy with and what is my future looking like.
Yeah,
So
like getting into the mobiles of everyone.
correct. Right. What am I doing? What am I doing to get into the mobiles of everyone?
Yes,
That is a very interesting question. So basically, so it is right now. My time is divided in two parts, and those two parts are subdivided into many other parts. All right. So the first part is I'm busy coaching people. Okay. So people who want to achieve goals. As I said earlier, I'm a leadership and transformation coach. So organizations who want to build their teams, all right, who want to motivate their team, who want to keep their team productive, who want to increase the productivity of their teams. Okay, they approach me, okay, and engage me in smaller mid-term and long-term assignments. That is one part of my job nowadays. The second part is I am building something very exciting. Okay, and if you know, probably I I ran a company called as Prosperity Learning and Development Private Limited, which is based out of Mumbai. Now, I was always, what do you say, besotted, as sort of to say, by the word prosperity, right? I was never happy with the word success, right? Because success is, say, very fleeting. Okay, it can come and go, and it is not lasting. And success in terms of career or success in terms of business is good. You can say that, okay, I'm a successful person, I'm successful. But how will you say you're a successful individual? You can say, I'm a successful businessman, I'm a successful, say, entrepreneur, I'm a successful career professional, that all that. But how will you say, I'm a successful individual? How will you say? I will put that question to you.
if I want to be a successful individual, I have to achieve something which I could showcase to others. For example,
Okay.
as an YouTuber, if someone gets 1 lakh subscribers, they get an silver badge that they can showcase. So that kind of thing.
Right. Right. Okay. So so that means success, individual success means the success of our families, this success, our own, well-being. Okay, am I feeling good? There are a lot of people, after becoming successful, are under a lot of pressure, under a lot of, physical, difficulties. We know, stories like our famous Steve Jobs, okay, who dearly, we lost at a very early age because of burnout. All right, he was building something so passionately, and he was after that purpose entirely, that he was not prosperous. Okay, he was successful, hugely, immensely successful, but Steve Jobs was not prosperous. So, what is prosperity? Prosperity is a larger canvas of life wherein there are five elements involved. So, first element is health, okay, your body, mental, physical health. Second aspect is your wealth. which is the money part, your business or your career, how much money you're bringing in, all right, how much revenue you're bringing in. Third is relationships, okay? The people around you, your friend circle, your family, your connection with your society, how well. Fourth is your self care, right? Are you caring about your own needs? Sometimes in India, essentially, what happens is people are so dedicated to others that they forget about their own needs. Okay. And they start neglecting their emotional needs, their physical needs, their mental needs. There used to be a time, I can say it from my own example. There used to be a time in my life I will spend 5,000 rupees without blinking an eye to buy a dress for my daughter. But when it comes to buying a good shirt for me, I will think, no, no, should I buy it now? Or should I? Similarly, if I want to send my daughter to a vacation, like a school vacation, I will spend any amount without thinking. But when my body is aching, and when I want probably a back massage, I will think 5 times before going into a masseuse or taking some massage service for my well-being. Now, this is called a self-care. This is a very, very important role because if you are taking care of yourself, that means you are taking care of others also. Because if you live longer, you'll make money for a longer period of time. That means you will take care of your dear and near ones for a longer period of time. If you're not taking yourself good, you will live for a shorter period of time, and that means you will also only be caring about your family and friends for a shorter period. So that is the fourth factor. The fifth and the most important factor is spirituality. Spirituality is the connection with the universe. We can call it, Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity, any kind of, but ultimately this is, so I'm creating a coaching, a digital coach, okay, that will help people to achieve this holistic prosperity through a wonderful digital coaching program. That is what I'm building nowadays.
Okay, so great. So once app is released, kindly let me know. I will add that as well. Martin, how our viewers can contact you after looking at this video, and what are all the social medias you are active in, and how our viewers can get benefited by following you on that particular social media? Please tell in
All right.
detail.
Yeah. So that's a very good question, Joel, because we don't want this to be a one-off interview, because your viewers and subscribers would want to know more about the topics, because these are transformative and development related topics. They're self-development topics. So since there are a lot of benefits for them to be connected, since I am a transformation and a leadership coach, I'm mostly basically connected on LinkedIn. That's my major platform where I'm mostly active. I have a newsletter called Self Leadership, which I started 2 months ago, but got momentum, so much of momentum. It is 2,000 subscribers already, which is very difficult to manage in a platform like LinkedIn. So, what I do is I publish a transformation and leadership related article that I do research on the entire week and publish it, and it is free of for subscribers. They get a notification also whenever if they are a subscriber, and that is a free tool. I publish a lot of tools like energy heat map. How can you track your demotivation and motivation level? This is all free of cost. They can get there. Second, I'm also connected to a lot of influencers in the business world and in the career world, so they can link themselves and follow by following me. They can follow the other people as well and get a wealth of direction, guidance and all. So this is about LinkedIn. And for people who will be following me on LinkedIn, I'm going to offer for 100 of them the self leadership, book, the 12 stories of abundance and self leadership. 100 people will be receiving a digital copy free of cost. All right. So this they can immediately utilize. They don't want to They don't have to spend 300 rupees and buy the book. They can get an electronic copy and read it on their mobile phone. The second platform I'm active is Facebook, definitely. And Facebook, I do my activities. They can do follow-ups on what are the developmental activities I'm doing, whether it is a book publishing is coming or a product launch is coming. And they can also directly message me whenever they have issues related to their self-development. They want to guidance on how to grow in their career or how to start a new business. These topics I discuss and give free, say, inputs and free guidance on Facebook. So that is another platform. Third platform is I am very active on Quora. I have 1 million plus answer views on Quora. Now here, if they want to read, from me without paying anything, they can read about a lot of topics that I, discuss there and put out there, for people to grow. Because in our country, we have a lot of talent. We are blessed with, 1.5 billion people of great talent. But unfortunately, many people does not have the buying power to go out and get a powerful coach or buy an expensive book or buy expensive gear and all. So they can get answers and guidance free of cost through reading Quora, articles that and answers that I write. So this is mainly platforms wherein people can reach out to me, and you have the links also. You can publish the links on the chat boxes for the benefit of people.
Yes, definitely. I will publish the links on the chat box. People look, just drag down and you will have a more tab in the description. If you click on that, all the links of share, search books, search social media will be there. Below that, my social media and a book I have written about converting your dreams into uh, content and publish it on social media and make money out of it. That book or link also will be there. So please, on the comment also, there will be more option. You have to click on that so that you get the entire message from us. And on those people who are listening to this audio and podcast, in the same way, I would have given the details. Watch that as well on the description and on the comments. You have to click on the more or make sure that you are reading the full passage so that you get all the links. And thank you very much for your time, sir. And people press the thumbs up icon, subscribe, and share your valuable comments. If you have any questions, share that as well. So as I said, in future,
Yes.
if you have any video section, we'll be having that, and at that time, we'll be answering those questions as well. Thank you, Mr. for your time. Thank you, viewers. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Joel. You're doing a good job. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, sir. Bye.